Hi, it's me, Larry David. And as you may or may not know, I have very strong opinions about scones. Scones are supposed to be hard, even when fresh. Fresh hard.
Fresh hard.
Otherwise, it's like a muffin. You might have a looser definition of what a scone is than I do, but it's not really open to interpretation. So today, I'll be making blueberry scones from scratch, just to demonstrate exactly how I don't like them. That means they're going to be very moist, very delicious scones. Take 2 cups of all-purpose flour in a small bowl and dump it into a bigger bowl. Then add 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Grab a whisk and mix it all together. You know what you're supposed to do with a whisk, I don't have to tell you. Then add 6 tablespoons of cold butter that you chopped into small cubes. Emphasis on cold. It's gotta be cold. Otherwise it's not gonna get incorporated into your mixture correctly, and this whole house of cards will come crashing down. Use your hands to squeeze the butter into sheets, breaking it down into the flour mixture. You want it to become a crumbly mess. You don't want any big chunks of butter left in there when we're done with this step. I'm serious. You should basically lose track of the butter in there. Set that aside and measure out 1 cup of heavy cream. And then 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract too. And then you guessed it, whisk these together. And dump it into your dry ingredients. Use a spatula to fold the wet into the dry until a dough begins to form. Don't overmix. You do not want to overmix. I've got 1 cup of blueberries that I already rinsed, and I'm going to fold them into the dough now. Again, careful not to overmix. Just make sure the blueberries are evenly spread around. You don't need to take it further than that. Put flour on a cutting board and dump your dough on there. Use your hands to form the dough into something that somewhat resembles a ball. Then press down on the top of the ball to flatten it out until it becomes a round disc that is roughly 2 inches tall. Grab a sharp knife and slice your disc like you would cut a pizza into 8 slices that are all roughly the same size. These are going to be your scones if you haven't figured that out yet. Grab a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, hopefully you did that already, if not, do it now, and place your scones on there. I'm going to put these in the freezer for 15 minutes and preheat the oven to 400 degrees. Once you take the scones out of the freezer, grab that heavy cream again and brush a thin layer on top of each of the scones. Look at these! We're going to bake for 20 minutes. They smell very delicious. I'm going to let these cool, and while we do, I'm going to make a glaze because we want them to be moist exactly how I, Larry David, prefer a scone not to be.
Scones are supposed to be hard.
Hummingbird yourself nearly a cup of powdered sugar. Then measure out 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 2 tablespoons of milk. I'm using almond milk, any milk works. And 1/2 teaspoon of honey. Add that in there too. And we're whisking again. A lot of whisking goes into making scones. Make sure all the powdered sugar dissolves. And finally, artfully drizzle your glaze over each of your scones. Wow. look at that. That is really something to behold, isn't it? What a treat. Now that is a beautiful scone. It's too soft. It's more of a scone slash muffin.
Yeah, I'll keep the scone slash muffin.
Happy Halloween from me, Larry David.